in the presence of top government officials, including the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, and the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila. He said the essence of democracy is to have very solid discussions committed to national development and nation building, essential for the stability of the nation. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has issued an executive order to safeguard and enhance oil and gas revenues for the Federation, curb wasteful spending, eliminate duplicative structures in the sector, and redirect resources for the benefit of the Nigerian people, according to a statement by the presidential spokesperson, Bayo Onanuga. The president signed the EO in pursuance of Section 5 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. The executive order is anchored on Section 44, subsection 3 of the Constitution, which vests ownership, control, and derivative rights in all minerals, oil, and natural gas in, under, and upon any land in Nigeria, including its territorial waters and exclusive economic zone in the government of the Federation. The directive seeks to restore the constitutional revenue entitlements of the federal, state, and local governments, which were removed in 2021 by the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA. Elsewhere, Vice President Kashim Shettima has urged Nigerians to use the concurrent observance of Ramadan and the Christian Lenten season to strengthen national unity and demonstrate practical compassion towards fellow citizens. In a statement today, Shettima described the period as an opportunity for both spiritual renewal and collective nation building. The Vice President, who said the sacred month required more than religious rituals, called for active engagements in addressing the nation's seemingly formidable challenges. Shettima also described Ramadan as a journey of the soul and a time for deep reflection, for self-purification, and for embracing the true essence of Islam: peace, patience, sacrifice, and service to humanity. In Africa, Somalia's government has announced it is making progress in its long-running fight against the Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Shabaab militant group. Officials have announced that they have reclaimed territory from the militants that had been under their control for years. Amar Al-Abdi, Somalia's state minister for defense, said there were new locations and settlements that were liberated from these militants that were under their control for the last 18 years. According to analysts, US-backed airstrikes have also contributed to the government reclaiming territory from the Al-Shabaab, which once controlled swaths of the country. On the foreign scene, Britain's former Prince Andrew has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct during his time as a trade envoy, and UK police investigations into allegations emerging from Jeffrey Epstein files gathered pace. Unprecedented in Britain's modern era, the arrest was a new blow for the ousted royal, who marked his 66th birthday today. Recall that Andrew was stripped of all his titles last year, having been forced out of his former home by his brother, King Charles III. Still on the foreign scene, the White House warned on Wednesday that Iran would be wise to do a deal with the United States as President Donald Trump once again hinted at military action. The two sides recently resumed indirect talks mediated by Oman after Trump repeatedly threatened military action against Iran over a deadly crackdown on protesters last month. A previous attempt at negotiations collapsed when Israel launched surprise strikes on Iran last June, beginning a 12-day war that Washington briefly joined to bomb Iranian nuclear sites. On Wednesday, Trump again suggested that the United States might strike Iran in a post on his Truth Social site, with the U.S. military buildup underway in the Middle East. And still to come in the news. Super Falcons head coach Madugu drops Oshuala list 25 players for Cameroon friendlies. Stay tuned for detail of these and more stories to come in a moment. Many thanks for staying tuned and welcome back to Spectrum News within the hour. Going now to our business news, more Nigerians gained access to foreign exchange, boosting their spending on business travels by 366% to $672.27 million in the first 9 months of 2025, up from $144.19 million recorded in the corresponding period of 2024. The figures contained in the balance of payments section of the December 2025 Central Bank of Nigeria's quarterly statistics showed that spending stood at $231.7 million in the first quarter of 2025, rose slightly to $234.56 million in the second quarter, and moderated to $205.97 million in the third quarter, bringing the 9-month total to $672.27 million. In contrast, business travel expenditure was $77.33 million in quarter 1 2024, falling to $46 million in quarter 2, and further decreased to $20.24 million in quarter 3, culminating in $144.19 million for the same period. Business travels refers to expenditures made by the Nigerian resident when they travel abroad for business purposes, such as attending meetings, conferences, training session, or other work-related activities. And still in business, the concession agreement formalizes the implementation of a national digital platform for sustainability reporting aimed at strengthening transparency, accountability, and data-driven regulation across Nigeria's corporate ecosystem. Speaking at the signing ceremony in Abuja on Wednesday, Executive Secretary and CEO of the Financial Reporting Council, Dr. Rabiu Olowo, described the development as more than a routine agreement or cosmetics, saying that through the platform, The FRC would standardize sustainability disclosures, monitor compliance in real time, detect risk and misstatements, and strengthen enforcement through data-driven oversight. According to him, the platform marks a shift from fragmented and manual sustainability reporting to a technology-enabled framework that enhances credibility and trust in corporate disclosures. In health, the joint health sector unions have kicked against proposed executive amendment bills seeking to amend health regulatory laws, stating that the bills would grant medical and dental practitioners regulatory control over other healthcare professions in Nigeria. In a statement signed by the national chairman, Kabiru Munjibir, and the general secretary, Martin Eganubi, Johesu described the move as an attempt to impose an apartheid regime in the health sector. The union stated that the bills seek to override the regulatory powers and functions of other health professional agencies, warning that it would spell doom for the health sector. And still in health, the chairman of the Association of Community Pharmacists, Ogun State Branch, Wale Akintunde, has cautioned that poor handling of the proposed sachet alcohol ban could worsen public health and security risk rather than reducing them. Akintunde warned that while concerns about youth exposure to alcohol are legitimate, enforcement strategies must be carefully designed to avoid unintended consequences that could undermine the policy's objectives. Reports say several protests have been held against the ban on alcoholic beverages packaged in sachet and small plastic or glass bottles with a capacity of less than 200 milliliters, while the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control insisted that the move was aimed at protecting children, adolescents and young adults from the harmful use of alcohol. Other stakeholders, particularly distillers, said the ban may wipe out 1.9 trillion naira investments and render no fewer than 5.5 million Nigerians jobless. To sports news now, where Super Falcons head coach Justin Madugu has listed 25 players for the team's double-header friendlies against the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon. Star forward Ashishat Oshoala is the only noticeable absentee from the list. Captain Rashidat Ajibade, reliable goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie, Ashley Plumtree, Michelle Alozie, and Esther Okoronkwo are some of the regulars named in the squad by Madugu. The Super Falcons will take on Cameroon in the first friendly next week Saturday. The second friendly will hold on Tuesday, March 3rd. Both matches will be played in Cameroon's capital, Yaoundé. Meanwhile, Nigeria will face debutants Malawi, Zambia, and Egypt in Group C at the WAFCON 2026 finals. And still in sport, Leicester City have appealed against the decision to deduct them 6 points for breaching English Football League financial rules. The sanction was imposed on the team by an independent commission earlier this month and saw them drop to 20th in the championship, only outside the relegation zone on goal difference. 2 successful defeats since have led them to dropping into the bottom, 2 points from safety. The Premier League, who initially charged Leicester with breaching profits and sustainability rules in the 3 years up to 2023 to 2024 in May, have also lodged the appeal against the Commission's decision not to sanction the club for late submission of their annual accounts. Both parties have submitted their appeals to the chairman of the judicial panel, who will now appoint an appeal board to hear the case. On our entertainment news, the Ogun State Police Command is investigating claims of sexual assault made by TikToker Mirabel, who is currently receiving treatment in an intensive care unit, ICU. The command's public relations officer, Olusheyi Babasheyi, disclosed the development today in an interview with newsmen. Babasheyi confirmed that Mirabel voluntarily visited the Ibafor Police Division on Tuesday, February 17th, to lodge a formal complaint and was subsequently admitted to the hospital hospital for medical care due to her unstable condition. According to Babashei, the incident, a border community between Ogun and Lagos State, the police have established that Mirabel was not arrested, but rather she is being treated as a victim. The command, however, urged individuals with useful information to come forward and assist with the investigation. And that's all we have for you on the news at 4 on Spectrum TV. Do well to join us by following us on all our social media platforms, which you can find on our website, spectrumtvlive.ng. I am Rita Enum. Many thanks for staying tuned to the news at 4. Do well to enjoy the rest of your day.